Hi, I am here at Pinup Studio with Christina and with Allie. And so today we're just going to talk about kind of what you guys do as cosmetologists and talk about your career paths, and then also for our students, what you look for whenever you are hiring someone to come work for your team.
So I am the owner of Pinup Studio. I have been in business for almost 10 years. And my path was, I graduated high school early. I knew that I wanted to be in the beauty industry. I was like the girl that did my friends' makeup for prom and all of the things. I would color with box color and tell them if I messed it up, I'd pay to get it fixed. Never had to do that. So I graduated high school early, went straight to cosmetology school, and worked at a few salons. And then kind of went out on my own, did the independent studio, and built from that to a 1,500 square foot salon into where we're at now, which is 2,500 square feet.
I took a much longer path to get here. I am Pinup Studio salon manager. I've been here for almost 3 years and in the industry for almost 6. I am a 2-time college dropout. I tried the college thing. I realized it wasn't for me, so I found the beauty industry and they took me in. I started as an esthetician. I did skincare, and then when COVID hit, I had to take a step back and I couldn't touch faces anymore. So I started working behind a front desk, and it led to management, and here I am.
We do have a lot of students interested in the skincare, esthetician, nails, and of course hair care as well. You said that you were interested and you knew right away when you were in high school. What did you want to do when you were in high school?
I wanted to be a dancer. I danced my whole life, and I actually started to get a degree in dance. I got injured and I couldn't continue. And so I tried a bunch of other different majors. I did psychology, sociology. Nothing really stuck for me, and I left and got hands-on.
Tell me about maybe how many employees you employ and just what services you offer.
So we are a full service salon. We only do cuts, color, extensions. We have a whole bridal department. So doing, day of hair and makeup, fashion shows, things like that. My whole concept behind the salon was to really create a space for women to come as they are, for stylists to come as they are. There is a kind of misconception with this industry where, you have to wear all black and certain things. And we like color a lot in here. And really just kind of having that safe space, I guess, was like the main priority behind this. I really wanted to be able to help grow my stylists to find their voice. I am only 5'2", but I think I have the energy of like a 6'4" man when it comes to my confidence on things. It did take time to get there, but it can be very hard to find your confidence as a stylist and your voice behind the chair. So my favorite thing is really coaching my girls to finding their voice. Currently, we have 16 in salon, and then we also have our bridal department. We have about 14 girls on that.
And what do you look for as you are looking into someone? What are their as far as experience, and then also like certifications and things that they would need to get?
So legally, of course, you have to have a cosmetology degree to even touch hair. So they do have to have that. And it has to be licensed within North Carolina. There is rules in different states for the amount of hours that you have to complete. I don't necessarily look for the skill, because that can be trained. It's more personality. This is a very personable industry to be in, and you're really spending a lot of time with people. So it's character. And knowing that they're fitting the culture of the company is really what we kind of dive into here. We can teach you how to do hair. We can teach you how to do a good blowout. You learn the basics in hair school. We teach you how to break them in the salon and how to like really grow and do other things. So just kind of having that personality, I do like people with a lot of drive, because we are a very busy salon and in high demand. So just having that kind of go get it attitude is really what I personally look for.
It's constant education. Once you're graduated from school, you're learning up until the day that you retire from behind the chair, because there's so much that happens and changes in the industry. It's exciting and beautiful, but if you're not that type of person to have that drive to continue learning, it's definitely not the industry for you.
just like any career, you always kind of start at the bottom and you have to work your way up. I think it's really crucial your first year being a hairstylist, being an esthetician, doing makeup. It's all about watching, because you're not going to be fully booked and you can't expect to be fully booked. But it's really about watching and grabbing all of the nuggets of information from all of the other stylists and artists that you're watching, and just kind of doing some of the work that you might not want to do, doing it scared, and really just getting your hands in it and just being kind of that shadow with wherever you're at.
So you just say that legally they have to have a degree to start, but what as high schoolers who haven't gotten that degree yet, what advice would you give to someone who's very interested, wants to see if it's something they want to do? What advice would you give to them?
So definitely go to the cosmetology schools. I mean, there's a handful of them in the area. You have to have 1,500 hours. So typically a lot of schools, they offer day class or night class. So if you go and do the day class, it's about 1,500 hours. You can be done 9 months if you don't miss a day and do all of the things. If you do night class, I think it's about 1.5 years to kind of get through. Interview the schools, go there. I would say don't get necessarily stuck on the name of the school. This is a great industry to just go to the community college, save the money, because again, you learn really what you're going to use in the salon to save your money and go to a local school.
I think any customer service experience is really important as well, whether it's a restaurant or working a front desk. If you can work a front desk at a salon, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But if you can work a front desk anywhere, that's incredible. Learning those skills and those customer service skills are so ideal. It's customer service through and through for this industry. We're face to face with clients consistently.
I think there is a book on that, like that's kind of saying how like everyone should work at a restaurant or be a server at some point in your life, just to really experience what it's like to work in customer service. Yeah. You're taking in a lot from people, and it can be the best day ever, and you can deal with some amazing people, or you can deal with someone coming in and they're having the worst day ever, and unfortunately you're just the punching bag for the day, and it's not fair to you, but it's learning how to navigate that. So being like she said, being a server, working at a front desk, working in retail, learning that customer service, that's all this industry is customer service. Yeah. So understanding how to kind of like compartmentalize those emotions and the way that people are with things is huge.
For a stylist who is going through a typical day, I know you guys are owners and managers, and so your days are going to look a little bit different than a typical stylist, but what would their typical day look like? So
our schedules are a little different for our team. You can typically expect to work an 8-hour shift. We actually have a 3 and 4 day work week schedule for our company. So our stylists work 10-hour days, and then they'll have 1 week where they have 3 full days off, 1 week where they have four full days off. That is just something that we found is really beneficial. People are really protective over their time and want to do things. We've found working those a little bit of longer days and having longer weekends has actually eliminated a lot of time off requests, because they have those 4-day weekends. They can do those trips. They don't have to worry about anything. So they'd come in. There's always a lot of towels. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. You're folding towels probably for the rest of your... I still fold towels. She still folds towels. You want to look at your book and see what kind of clients you have. Set your station up. Make sure, especially if you're doing color, looking at the formulas, making sure everything's kind of there. And from there, really just prepping for the day. It depends on the type of services you're doing. A color appointment can take you anywhere from an hour and a half up to... if you're doing a huge transformation or a color correction, 5 hours to 6 hours. So it really depends on what kind of services you're doing as to how many people you're seeing a day. If you don't have your own client, you're typically going to be assisting another stylist, and that's going to be watching them, handing them foils, shampooing their client for them, blow drying the client for them, and just kind of making sure the overall salon is running.
What are your favorite parts of your job, and what would you say is the harder parts?
I love the connection to other women, the availability of space to build one another up and just build that community. I think that's amazing. I mean, not just our clients who we see that smile on their face when they're leaving and they feel good and confident because their hair is fresh and exactly what they wanted it to be, but also our stylists that we work with. Watching some of them grow over the last 3 years has been the most rewarding thing that I could possibly do, seeing them achieve their goals and all of that. I think that's also the hardest part as well, though. knowing their worth, knowing how good they are, and having to build them up and realizing that they may not feel that way about themselves can be really difficult because you want to push them and you want them to feel that too, but it doesn't come so naturally for everyone.
The hardest part is definitely feeling like they're not reaching the potential that they can reach. And then also just clients can be hard if you can't give them the look that they want, and trying to coach the girls to not take it so personal. This is, a very artistic field to be in, so you take a lot of pride in what you do, and if you do a service and you think you loved it or you did love it and the client doesn't love it, it's really kind of trying to help coach the girls and understand like you are still an amazing stylist. This guest might not have liked you or liked the work you did. It doesn't mean you need to stop. It doesn't mean this is a bad choice for you. And just helping coach that you can't take it personal.
So as in wrapping up with all of our students, whether they're interested in going into this field or not, is there something that you would do differently as you were entering this field, and what kind of advice would you give someone trying to figure out what they want to do?
I know for me, there was a lot of pressure to go to college, and I did that, and I hated it, and that's fine. But I also wish I tried things a bit more. I wish that I dabbled in the things that I felt I would be good at outside of all of this. I think it probably would have led me to the same place regardless. But just not being afraid to take the leap and take the chance on yourself. I think you learn a lot from failure, and I think you can really grow from failure. You're not going to learn anything if you don't fail once or twice, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's just going to happen in this industry and with doing hair. I always tell people that I was not a good stylist. I've been licensed for over 14 years, but I messed up on a lot of hair in the beginning. I like to think my personality and a really good blowout carried me. But it's you learn in those failures, and so it's just kind of really being a sponge and taking it all in. You may go into a salon and say, I want to just do balayage, which is the hand painted, and you don't want to do traditional foil work. Try it all for a year and do it all. Don't try to niche down until you've really gotten your hands in it and figured out what it is that you like, because you could think that you wanted to be a blonde specialist, and the next thing you know, you fall in love with reds and coppers and doing the rainbow hair colors, and that is a completely different part of the industry and a different way to do things. But doing those things can be a little bit more intimidating than your traditional blonding services. So learn it, be a sponge, soak it all in, and then figure out where you want to niche down and where you really want to focus your career.
Wow. So it sounds like there's lots of opportunities for growth in it.
Yeah.
You do have to start out at the very beginning, but and there's going to be parts that you maybe don't necessarily like, folding towels, maybe, even when you're up there at the very top. But yeah, just getting out there and being patient with yourself, being confident with yourself. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys so much for speaking with me today, and I know our students will greatly appreciate to have your insight and wisdom into the field of beauty and cosmetology and just general hair care. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great field to be in.
Yeah.